Is this the mechanic who helped my niece? Jason, a hardworking mechanic, had simply lent a helping hand to a stranger with a broken-down car the day before. Now, this mysterious phone call was about to pull him into a whirlwind of events and change his life forever. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tales Unveiled. Today, I'm excited to share a new story with you. Let's get started. Jason Smith was a hardworking mechanic who loved nothing more than fixing cars. From his childhood, Jason had been very obsessed with cars, and with his parents' support, he was able to live up to his dreams. Though it was always Jason's desire to own his own automobile shop, he was still satisfied with working for his boss at Rise Automobile Shop. As one of the best mechanics there, Jason could fix any kind of car. He was very skilled, talented, and passionate about his job. In fact, most of the customers who frequently visited the shop would specifically ask for Jason to fix their cars because they knew how skilled he was and passionate he was. One evening, after a long day at work, Jason was driving home around 7 p.m. when he noticed a young lady by the road looking into her open car hood. The lady was wearing fancy clothes, and it appeared like she was heading to an important place. At first, Jason thought of driving past her since he was already very tired from standing all day. But when he saw the lady's look of frustration, he was forced to pull over and offer a hand. "Looks like you could use some help," Jason said as he walked closer to the woman. "Yes, please. I don't know why the car just stopped working. It was in great shape when I left my house some minutes ago," the lady said in a frustrated tone. "Okay, let me take a look," Jason said. "You know about cars?" the woman asked, just to be sure Jason knew what he was looking at. "Yes, I'm a mechanic myself, and I work at Rise Automobile Shop just a few streets from here," Jason answered confidently. "Oh, thank God, the stars must really be aligned for me today," the lady said in a relieved tone, and they laughed. "Oh, I see what it is, and it's something I can definitely fix. Hold on, let me get my toolbox from my trunk," Jason said as he walked briskly to his car, grabbed the toolbox, and returned to the lady's car. "I'm Emily, by the way," the lady introduced herself while smiling. "I'm Jason, but my friends call me Jay for short," Jason smiled back. "So Jason, how long will it take for you to fix this? Today's my uncle's birthday, and I'm his favorite and only niece. I promised him I would be there before the party." "Starts at 8 p.m., Emily said. "This shouldn't take long, don't worry. You will be there before the party starts?" "It's only 10 minutes past 7, Jason responded. "Oh no, he's calling me already," Emily said as she briefly walked away from Jason to take the call. About 2 minutes later, she ended the call and walked back to Jason. "I told him my car broke down, and he was worried, but I also told him that someone was fixing it, so he might excuse me if I run late a bit," Emily said. "There'll be no need. You won't be late, Emily, because I fixed it. Go ahead and turn on the car," Jason said immediately after he said so. Emily ran to the driver's seat and turned on the car. To Emily's surprise, the car was working perfectly, and Jason had truly fixed it. "Thank you so much, Jason. I don't know what I would have done without you." Emily said, "How much do I have to pay?" Emily added, "Oh no, you don't have to pay me. I was only helping you. Besides, all your car needed was a small fix, so you don't need to pay me." Jason said, "Come on, Jason, I clearly inconvenienced you. You would probably be on your way home now, but here you are fixing my car after work hours." Emily tried to persuade him. "No, Emily, it's really nothing. If we keep going back and forth, then you'll definitely be late for your uncle's party," Jason said. "Okay, if you won't let me pay, can I at least get your business card or something?" Emily asked. "This is not my business card, but if you contact the automobile shop, you can get in touch with me," Jason said. "And with that, I'll definitely drop by the shop one of these days," Emily said. To be sure the car was in perfect condition, Jason waited for Emily to drive off before he returned to his car and drove off. Later that evening, when Jason got home, he told his wife and daughter about the stranger he had helped on his way back. His wife and daughter commended his kindness. That night, before Jason went to bed, he thought about Emily for a minute and wondered if she had gotten to the party on time. Then he went to bed. The following day, Jason was at the automobile shop trying to fix a car when he received a call from a strange number. "Hello, am I speaking with Jason Smith?" the caller asked. "Yes, you are," Jason responded. "This is Mr. Anderson, or Mark if you prefer. I'm calling to thank you for helping my niece fix her car yesterday," the caller said. Once the caller mentioned his niece, Jason immediately figured it was Emily's uncle speaking. "You're welcome, Mr. Anderson. I just did what I had to do," Jason said. "You're a good man. Emily would not stop speaking of you all night. She told everyone about your kindness, and she said that if it weren't for you, she would have missed the party, Mr. Anderson said. I want to give you something for your kindness, Jason. What will you be doing later this evening? Mr. Anderson asked. No, you don't have to. Like I told Emily, it was nothing, Jason said. I insist, Jason. We live in a cruel and selfish world, and not many people would have done what you did. Meet me at Anderson's estate by 7 p.m. Today I'll have my secretary send you the details, Mr. Anderson said. I look forward to seeing you, Jason. Okay, I'll be there by 7 p.m., Jason said before ending the call. Anderson's estate was the most impressive property in town, and everyone knew the name Mark Anderson. He was the city's wealthiest businessman, constantly in the headlines for his charitable donations and successful ventures. Jason's heart skipped a beat as he realized he'd just been on the phone with this influential figure. Later that day, while Jason was working, he received the details just like Mr. Anderson had said. After his shift ended around 6 p.m., Jason went home to freshen up before heading to Anderson's estate. He was touched by the gesture, but not expecting anything more than a handshake and a thank you. A few minutes before 7 p.m., Jason arrived at Mr. Anderson's house. Shortly after he did, Emily's uncle joined him. Jason's suspicions were correct. It was Mr. Mark Anderson, whom he had spoken with earlier that day. It's a great pleasure to meet you, Mr. Anderson, Jason greeted him as soon as he entered the room, the pleasure is mine, Jason. It's great to see you in person, Mr. Anderson said. Thank you again for helping my Emily last night. Now tell me about yourself, Jason. Do you have a family? Mr. Anderson asked. Even though Jason was a bit shy about meeting Mark and sharing a drink with him, he told Mark about himself, his family, and the automobile shop he worked for. That's great, Jason. From everything you have said, I can see you are passionate about your job. Have you ever thought of opening your own automobile shop? Mr. Anderson asked. Yes, Mr. Anderson. Oh, cut it, Jason. You can call me Mark. We are friends already, he said. Yes, Mark, I have. It's always been my childhood dream, but unfortunately, I cannot afford to start up my own shop, Jason explained. How much do you think you will need to start a small automobile shop and grow it from there? Mark asked. I'm not sure, but I think $70,000 to $90,000 will be okay for me to rent the space, buy all the necessary equipment, and set it up, Jason answered. I wouldn't want to take anything without earning it, Mr. Anderson, Jason added, feeling a bit uncomfortable at the prospect of charity. But the opportunity to talk business with someone like you is a gift in itself. Mark smiled. I understand, Jason, and I wouldn't offer anything less than a fair deal. How about this? I'll give you $90,000 as an investment in your talent and potential. If it doesn't work out, no hard feelings. Consider it an investment in you, not in the business. But I've seen your talent, your passion. I believe in people, Jason, and I believe in you. He paused, his eyes twinkling. Think of it as a partnership, Jason. You have the skills, I have the resources. Together, we can build something great. And don't worry about Emily, she's like family to me. Helping her was like helping my own daughter. As soon as Jason heard that Mark would give him the money to start his business, he went to his knees and thanked Mark. You don't have to thank me, Jason. You earned this. I'm not loaning you the money. Consider it a reward for your kindness. My secretary will send you the money in 2 days, and I look forward to seeing that dream of yours become a reality, Mark said. I guess I'll just have to show you how much this means to me by building the best damn auto shop this city has ever seen, Jason replied with a warm smile on his face. When Jason returned home, he could not believe what had just happened. He even told his wife about his entire conversation with Mark, and they could not contain their happiness. 2 days later, just as Mark had promised, Jason received $90,000. When Jason received the money, he called Mark to thank him for his generosity. 2 months after Jason received the money gift from Mark, he opened his own shop, which he simply named Jay's Automobile Shop. It wasn't very big, but it was just what Jason wanted. Since he was a very skilled and talented mechanic, it didn't take long for customers to come from all over the city. As time passed, Jay's Automobile Shop grew to become one of the best and most reputable shops around, thanks to Mark Anderson, who made his dream come true. As for Emily, she became a regular at Jay's shop, not just for car repairs, but for friendly chats with Jason and his wife. Over time, the two women formed a close bond, and Emily became a cherished part of their family. At the same time, Jason and Mark continued to see each other occasionally, their bond deepening over shared meals and conversations about life and business. Their chance encounter had grown into a genuine friendship. For Jason, it was a lesson he'd never forget. Sometimes, the biggest rewards come from the smallest acts of kindness. He hadn't helped Emily with the expectation of anything in return, but his willingness to lend a hand had opened up a world of possibilities he'd never dreamed of. It was a reminder that success isn't always about chasing after it, but about being the kind of person who's willing to help others along the way.